Hello friends, how's your night going? So in this video we're going to implement, or we are going to find the greatest common divisor of two numbers. Okay, we're going to use Euclid's algorithm in Java. So first of all, what is the greatest common divisor? So if you go to Wikipedia, you find this example. So let's assume you have two numbers, 3,780 and 3,528. The greatest common divisor of these two is 252, because both divided through 252, we can both divide both numbers with and we're getting a rest of 0. Okay. So any other number where we go higher will have always a rest. Okay. So this is what we're gonna implement in Java. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, let's solve this problem and let's really try to understand what we need to do. So the Euclid's algorithm, okay, Euclid's algorithm works like this. You have two numbers. Okay, let's delete this. So I'm gonna show it to you. So you have two numbers. Okay, you have 3,700. It's just a simple example. You could do that with any number. 3,780 and 3,528. What do you want to do? Okay, so first of all, you want to divide these two numbers. So you take the bigger number and you're going to divide it with the smaller number. Okay, and you're going to get some sort of a result, right? And you're also going to get a rest, right? In this case, the rest is 252. Okay, I'm not going to prove that to you. You can calculate that if you want. Okay, so now we already know for our program that if we want to implement that, we need, let's say, S1, right? Why S? I don't just get to my mind now. S2, or you can call this however you want to call it. Well, let's call this a result, and we have a rest. Okay, so we need of these four variables, and then, well, you do that the first time. So take the bigger number, divide it through the smaller number, you get a result and you get a rest. And then what you're going to do is you take the S2, right? 3, 5, 2, 8, and you divide it through the rest. And you're going to get a result, which is 14 in that case. And in this case, you get rest 0. And you know, okay, the greatest common divisor is 252. With other numbers, this needs, well, you need like more steps to do that, right? You need like a lot of more steps, but this is basically the system. So if this would be, for instance, 100 whatever, then you would continue this process. Then you would take another time, you would take S2, right? And then divide it through the rest and so on. Okay, so this is basically the system. So now let's try to implement that in code. If you want, now you know how it works. Pause the video, come back and try to, well, solve the challenge, and then come back and see a solution. I also would like to add that this is basically my personal solution that I came up with. It's like my first intuitive solution. So I'm pretty sure there are better ways of doing that. Like there's probably a one-liner, like because my code is a little bit extensive, but I think it's still good to well, to follow the video just to see, to get it, especially for beginners, to get a good sense of what's happening under the hood. So we have our program, we have our class, we have our main method, and now let's just do exactly what we did on the worksheet. So we're gonna have well, two integers, right, s1 and s2. And what I would like to do is I would like to give the program arguments, right, and run configurations. You can send some arguments, like these two numbers, for instance, right, and then run the program with these with these arguments. So what we want to do is we want to parse this integer parse integer, and we're going to parse the first argument with arg0, and then we're going to parse the second argument with I call it s2, and we're going to say argument 1. Okay, so these two lines, what they're actually doing, they just parse the argument that we send in through the configurations. Okay, and then we need our numbers, we need our result. Let's initialize that with 0. We're going to need our variable, like, let's call it rest. Let's also initialize it with 0, and we're going to need something to, GGT is just the greatest common divisor. And this is the variables we need. So now let's just assume, just to make it easy in the beginning, let's just assume that S1 is by definition bigger than S2. Okay, and we're going to say if that is the case, if S1 is bigger than S2, right, then what do we want to do? Okay, again, pause the video, implement the loop that I'm going to do here yourself, and see the solution. Okay, so I'm going to do this with a while loop. I'm going to say if while S1 modded with S2, right, is unequal to 0, something has to happen, right? So this is basically what we're doing here. So we're going to say, okay, as long as we divide S1 by S2, and it's not, it is not 0, the result is not 0, right? And not the result, the rest is not 0. Okay, because here the rest is 0. Then something has to happen. What has to happen? Well, let's say we save the result in, we're going to say the result is S1 divided by S2. This is our result. Our rest is going to be S1 modded by S2, right? So we're gonna basically, this is just the first line. We're gonna save the result here. So it's gonna be our 1, and we're gonna save the rest, which is gonna be 252 is here. So that's the first line. And now what we want to do? Well, we want now we want S1 in the next step. So this is what the first loop is going to do, right? And the next step, then we want S2, better to say, we want S1 to become S2. Okay, S1 has to become S2, and S2 has to become the rest, right? And we're going to save the GGT within, let's say S2 is becoming the result actually. Okay. Why is that? So look, again, result as 1 divided by S2, rest as 1 modded by S2, right? And then we're going to say S1 becomes S1, right? This S1 becomes S2, okay? And S2, yeah, becomes the rest. So this one here, right? And this process is going to repeat itself over and over again until this condition is met, okay? Okay, so now, but this only works if S1 is bigger than S2, right? So else, right, so if S2 is actually bigger than S1, you can basically just copy this and change S1 and S2, right? And this is not a very good practice, I guess, because you're basically repeating a lot of code, but for this simple example, I think it doesn't really matter. So, okay, and then else, and then of course we want to tell the system that we're going to print our greatest common divisor. And there you go. You have 252. It's the greatest common divisor. And also, if you change the numbers, it's going to work. I'm not going to prove that to you. You can try that out. But what I am going to do is I'm going to show you another thing. We're going to use a switch statement to do the output. So you don't have to follow along. This has nothing to do with the algorithm, but you can, if you want. You know what? Actually, I'm not going to do that. This should be sufficient. Okay, so this is how you do that.